There's something we know about King Jiffy Coats and his channel, and that's me. I'm King Jiffy Coats. I'm the guy that's going to be bringing you guys into all the chaos. I love downfalls. I love chaos. I love watching people do cringe things on the platform. Hell, I might be the most cringe of them all. Well, actually, that's not true because we've reacted to some absolutely obscene and horrible things on this channel. But today we got how this college girl had her life ruined in 69 minutes. Nice. But here we go. This is done by Jamari. We've watched him before on the channel. He is fantastic. But here we go. Let's get right into it.
So a couple of months back, a story went viral online where it was rumored that a college sorority girl had slept with her boyfriend's father. This rumor began after a Snapchat message started going around the Ole Miss campus, and
Bro, could you imagine, dude? Could you imagine you're just chilling with your girlfriend and she's just eyeing up your dad's bulge? Like, that's wild. You hear about this stuff happening and you see it in, like, on some sites on the internet, right? But you never think about when it actually happens. You think, like, oh, it's funny, it's a thing, like, but when it happens, it is so wild. And like, dude, if my boyfriend has the unit, but he doesn't seem to know how to use it. I need more experience. I need his dad shalamadama ding dong. I mean, that's what I need. I need a guy who knows, who's had years and years of pipe laying experience to really make sure my plumbing's in check. This is a great world that we live in of absolute idiots.
Suddenly it was trending online, with this girl named Mary Kate being labeled as the girl.
I mean, she is fine. But, like, what an awful dad that's like, look how hot look how hot my son's girlfriend is. I'm gonna make sure to just, like, fill all of her holes when he's, like, when he's doing his schoolwork, bro, when he's trying to get his degree, I'm gonna be filling her entire vagina with fluid. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Girlfriend referenced in the Snapchat.
Whoa, let's read this. Basically, so, I don't know, like, if you've heard this part, but so over, like, the break, or I can click right before the break started, Mary Kate went home early from school because I guess she, like, finished her exams early and went to go watch Evan's little sister in her basketball game and went with dad. And then they, like, dropped the sister off at home and, like, the basketball game, and they went to dinner to like dinner and drinks and was, like, buying her drinks and stuff, and then they, like, got with each other or got with each other there or something, and then that was, like, the first time, and then I don't even know how Evan, the boyfriend, found out, but I know he did, and then he was, like, upset about it, and Mary Kay was like totally him, she'll never do it again because she's, like, a fucking, like, liar. And there's a thing, a loser. I'm sorry, and blah, 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 again. But mom knows, but she's not gonna get divorced fully because of Mary Cape. But because the dad is, like, cheating on her before, like, multiple times, so, like, why? But so bad. What the fuck kind of brain rot writing is that? I literally feel like I had a full frontal lobotomy while reading that. I felt like I was back in the 2000s watching that whatever that fucking show is where the bitch acted all fabulous and stuff and wore pink. I feel 100% like I was reading that type of shit. It feels like a bad screenwriter trying to figure out the way people talked in the 2000s.
Message. Memes were made, it actually hit #1 on trending, and it was so mainstream that it was being talked about on nationally syndicated programs. Well, now only 2 months later, this girl Mary Kate lawyered up. She is finally speaking out, and not only is she claiming that this whole thing is bogus, but she is also now coming for everyone who aided in the spreading of what she calls a lie that ruins her life. So this was the original photo that started going around after the Snapchat message started going viral, so people could kind of put a face to this story that they were believing. Then someone would post these other photos of her and this guy that I guess is the one from the story that was apparently being cheated on. And honestly, this looks completely fucking photoshopped to me. I mean, it looks like they took a photo of them, which was at like some sort of tailgate, and then just stuck them in the foreground of some random Ole Miss football game photo. People even started sharing the dad's information. Obviously, I'm going to have to heavily redact this. And this is the actual Snapchat message that was going viral at that time. Basically, so I don't know, like, if you've heard this part, but so overlying liar like that, like. This is the text message that I'm sorry.
I'm skipping this shit because I just read it. I don't need. We don't need to hear him read it again. But dear God, it's so bad.
And so something about never drinking again, possibly. But the mom knows, but she's not getting divorced fully because of Mary Cape. But because the dad is like cheated on her before like multiple times, so that's like, why? But so bad. So this is the text message that people were believing as proof of this absolutely insane story. I mean, like I already said, all I can think after reading this is that the person that wrote this had the IQ of a fucking peanut.
Hi there.
And absolutely, dude. This was like absolute brain rot fucking writing abilities. And this is the whole thing that this is all based off of. This is the most retarded thing I've ever seen. This poor girl, if she didn't do this, and this is all built off of a couple pictures they found, a fucking meme they pulled off of Reddit. Could you imagine if it was that? It's just somebody found a meme where a girl that was from the fucking 2000s, like, totally wrote this fucking long Snapchat bullshit, found another girl that was a pretty blonde, attached them together. The internet then found his father. Could you imagine if that was the rabbit hole that it went down? Could you imagine the amount of brain rot? And the poor girl's like, I didn't fuck his dad. What are we doing here? Jim's a douchebag. That would be the most awful thing for the people in this, but for me, it makes amazing content, and I hate that it happened to them. I feel bad, but this is fucking hilarious.
People were absolutely running with this narrative. Right under this text message, this guy says, she'd hump a rock pile if it had a snake in it. This can't be true. How does a dad stoop that low? Good grief, man, that's your son. What an effing douchebag. I'm sure all his clients are feeling real comfortable with this guy watching over all their money. Hey, Mr. Loyal, how's my account looking? I'll be cashing out today. And then you even had random people catching strays. This was like a viral tweet about the situation, where I guess someone had found her Venmo account, and I guess she had sent this boyfriend money for gas, and he says at least Evan got his final bag. This guy says, Jesus Christ, who's the fridge on the left? And that is the thing about the internet.
Just fucking her one. So this is like something you'll notice. Every group of hot friends has one friend that is a little bit chunkier than the rest, right? It's not always a little bit. Sometimes they are morbid humongos. This chick isn't a morbid humongo, but there's always the big gal. There's always the big gal. She always wears the same things as her other friends, even though everybody that notices them knows she shouldn't, but nobody says anything because they know that if they're nice to her, they're probably gonna sleep with one of the other girls. This is like such a white girl thing that we've all known has been a thing forever, and it's funny that it pops up on the internet, and then on the internet people aren't fucking nice because they have no chance of sleeping with these people because they don't fucking know these people, so they're just like, who the fuck let Barry Sanders into this fucking thing? Why is Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, I meant to say Jerome Bettis, why is Jerome Bettis hanging out with these girls? What the fuck's going on here? Why do we have the fucking bus hanging out with the fucking Maseratis? What are y'all going here? I love this shit, dude. This is why the internet's so fucking amazing.
Someone random is always going to catch a stray that just had absolutely nothing to do with the situation at hand. They were sharing some alleged old photos from her past. Pro tip, don't black out at 3 p.m. I mean, this could all easily be doctored. Apparently, this was after the story went viral. She says, suing you if you post, my parents know. This alleged person says, I'm not posting it anywhere. She says, so go fuck yourself. I swear to God, I'm not posting. Maybe you should not have fucked his dad. And obviously, these types of things can be faked so easily. You create a profile name or Mary Kate Cornett, put a blonde up there, and people just start believing it. It goes viral. This one allegedly also comes from after the story came out, where she says, stop. Are you good? No. Hey, if you ever need a shoulder to cry on or a dick to ride on, I'm there. Like, I got
bro was like, dude, I haven't shot my shot. We had math in middle school together. This is my time, bro. This is my time. Hey, he even blocks out this part. It's probably a dick pic too. It's probably a fucking dick pic. She's like, stop. Are you good? Did you not enjoy my dick pic? No, this is an alleged dick pic. Did you not enjoy my dick pic? No. Well, if you want a fucking sucky Tuesday, I'm here for you, baby.
Gotta be honest, that's one of the craziest lines I've ever heard. And apparently someone even took the time to rug pull tens of thousands of dollars, capitalizing on this Mary Kate meme. I mean, they even used her picture for the shit. And honestly, this is yet another one of those where if you invested in this, you did deserve to have your pockets run. But let's see what she had to say.
Absolutely. Every time I see one of these meme coins, I'm like, who the fuck bought that? Who the fuck was like, oh, dude, check it out. It's that chick that fucked her boyfriend's dad. Dude, I'm buying it on that coin, dude. This is going to be a genius and invest in diamond hands, dog. Diamond hands. Nothing better than a diamond hand to fist myself. And then they're sitting there with no diamond hands, poor, and giving blowjobs under an overpass.
Now that she's finally speaking out.
Having the entire internet, half of the country hating you and calling you disgusting things, telling you that you're a horrible person, that you deserve to die, that's a really hard thing for a girl to go through.
Strawberries and spinach.
But like, yeah, it's awful. It's bad that you had to go through that, unless you actually slept with his dad, and then it's like kind of your fault. It's consequences of your own actions. Now, what I'm hearing is this is all a rumor and it didn't happen, supposedly, allegedly. But if it did and it comes out it did, this is gonna make it look so much fucking worse. Now, I want to believe that she didn't, because I think that makes this whole thing way more crazy and way more interesting.
Famous on the internet and social media in the worst possible way.
I mean, obviously, if this story was all bogus and she just got attached to, like, this random thing that was a complete lie, and obviously the girl was not a public figure before this, I could see how this type of thing would totally fuck up your life. It probably fucks up your entire college situation. It fucks up your relationship. I mean, honestly, I can see it being an absolute nightmare that we now kind of have to deal with in this new social media age.
In February, an online rumor went viral, claiming an Ole Miss sorority sister slept with her boyfriend's father. Then, someone attached Cornette's name and photo to it.
And it would be one thing if there was like glaring proof of any of this happening, like pictures of her and the dad at the basketball game, maybe some sort of risque text messages between them. But it was really all just that one low IQ Snapchat message. And then
yeah, dude, I mean, that person's definitely a mouth breather. 100% a mouth breather. They walk through life. Oh, like. They sound like one of those fucking birds from Finding Nemo, dude. Obviously, they weren't the highest IQ individual, and the message in and of itself is hilarious. But if this poor chick just gets attached to it, that's just so fucked. Like, the fact that maybe there was a rumor that they saw them together going somewhere, and they're like, oh, what if I saw this post on Reddit, I could attach it to them, and this could be like a big thing. I could get so micro famous, or this post would blow up. It would be so funny. What a troll. And it blew up, and now she's dealing with all the fucking ramifications, becoming a fucking internet lolcow when it's all a fucking hoax. That's wild. That is so wildly unfortunate. It's just one of those things that it's different than, I don't know. I still don't know how you would go about stopping this. It's like, oh, well, we got to ban everything that has to do with it. I mean, obviously, she's going to go after the people that had big platforms that put this out there as true, like it was an actual thing, which rightfully so, it would cause damages. It's just like when, what was it, like MSNBC, I don't know, one of the news outlets like cut up a Joe Rogan clip and made it like so that it looked completely different than what he said, so he sued him for it. When you do malicious shit like this and don't do your research behind it, this is what happens, bro. If you're actually, because you have to pass quite a big bar. You have to pass quite a big bar to prove something like this, that it actually had damages in court. But if you're a fucking nobody suing like a giant, massive fucking conglomerate, which ESPN would be under Disney, I believe. So obviously they're going to be the little guys pushing down on this chick, or the big guys pushing down on the chick, which it has way more ramifications than it, let's say, it was Fox pushing back to Disney. It's not that they're two big companies. Yes, there's going to be damages, but how much compared to her quantifying how much it ruined her life? There is way more chance that it actually had financial and life ramifications from a big company running a story like that as if it was true.
Once people saw that picture, it was like pouring gasoline on the fire.
This disgusting rumor was a top trending topic on Twitter.
Within 2.5 hours. Later that night, around 7 p.m., I was #1 trending in the United States.
God damn.
I felt so helpless and so alone because so many people were hating on me for something that I had no idea anything about.
And I gotta say, guys, there's a lot of people who have taken themselves out of this world for much less.
Cornette's phone number was also shared online. She was overwhelmed with harassing texts.
I hate this. Okay, here's the thing. I don't like doxing. I don't like when people decide to take something like this that's funny online, because pointing and laughing at stuff online I don't think is that big of a deal. When you start releasing people's personal information, harassing them in their IRL life, it's gone too far. You have taken it to a new level. I have stood by that since my early days on the channel. I will always stand by that. It's like the people who swap people. It's the people who decide to bring their kids into the situation. Anything that's bringing your real life stuff into this internet drama or funny internet stuff, it's too far. You've gone too far. I hate when people are just like out here posting doxes and stuff. I think it's disgusting.
And voicemails.
I was having thousands of calls come through, thousands of texts coming through, calling me a telling me I deserve to die.
And even just to play devil's advocate and say, oh, what if this was all 100% true, she actually did that? I still do not think that that's grounds for doxing someone. And I don't really get what goes through someone's head when, like, they see that leaked information and think, oh, let me go to my phone and send this random number some sort of terrible message. That will really teach her. Like, I guess
it's just like, that's unhinged behavior. That is like, you're being an absolutely disgusting person. You're being worse than what they did. In most cases, almost all cases, like, artificially inserting yourself into somebody's life because of an internet meme, it makes you an absolute fucking retarded loser. I'm sorry. He's being nice about it. I'm calling you a fucking absolute scumbag. It doesn't, like, this is the whole premise of this is she slept with her boyfriend's dad. So you're going to harass her on a daily basis and leak her phone number to the entire world? That's not the equivalent, like, at all. That's not rational in the slightest.
I just don't understand the mentality of some people.
All because of an internet rumor.
All because of an internet rumor that has zero truth to it. Zero.
Cornette says she could barely leave her dorm room, had to switch to online classes. Someone even sent police to her mother's house in a fake 911 call.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep,
all this stuff.
Swatted. Nah, I hate this. This is disgusting. This is like, swatting is one of the most disgusting things that anybody decided to do online. I don't know who the first person to get swatted was, but it should have ended there. It should have ended. So I think if the cops are to if they get a call from somebody that's like, oh, well, I've heard so and so, blah blah blah, and the SWAT team shows up, I think they should face attempted murder charges, at the very least, unless something happens. And then if something happens, they are then liable for every damage, like, if you squished a flower, you should be charged $30 at least for that fucking flower, maybe more. Every little thing that could be charged to you should be charged to you, as well as an attempted murder charge. You should face jail time for swatting somebody. Hands down, I don't think that's even up for discussion. You were purposely trying to put somebody's life in danger.
Just becomes really fucked up really fast. Obviously, bad, fatal situations can occur from a phone call like that. And it's just like, why do people always have to take things to such extremes? And here is where we get to the Pat McAfee portion of this story. Because this girl is now going to be taking legal action against him based on things that he said about the situation on his show.
The rumor was picked up by ESPN host Pat McAfee.
This is what is being reported by everybody on the internet. Dad had sex with son's girlfriend.
Has anyone apologized to you?
No, I was not famous before this. I'm not a public figure that you can go talk about on your show to get more views. Nobody knows who I am, or nobody did know who I was.
It's my opinion that her lawyer definitely told her to make that statement. I think this is going to be a defamation play because, Like we've talked about on this channel, how when you're a public figure, it's very hard to prove defamation because it's very hard to prove actual malice.
And that's exactly what I was saying earlier on. It's really hard to prove it when it's public figure versus public figure. When you're a fucking nobody, it's much easier because you're like it's easier to quantify the damages done to you because big company running your story on their show, which isn't true, is going to have a lot more ramifications than let's say like fucking the same thing like Joe Rogan. Again, the same example. It's just it's so much easily won for the lawyer.
When it comes to non-public figures, they fall under a totally different set of laws. And I did actually want to show you guys the longer clip to actually give it some context, because he did say more than like, oh, dad sleeps with son's girlfriend. But I also want to note that he did never mention her by name, which could make all of this very interesting.
Jackson Dart, Ole Miss guy, though, so you're going to have to check in on his father, make sure everything kind of lines up there. Yeah, just to make sure,
what do you mean?
You know, the right kind of culture type of guy.
Yeah, is Jackson Dart of Ole Miss's dad snooping around?
Yeah, which happens at Ole Miss. I mean, that's kind of a...
So there is where the reference kind of starts. He's talking about this Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart that will soon be drafted, making a little joke like, oh, it's his dad hanging around the campus and shit.
Have you heard about Ole Miss?
I've been there, the Grove.
Okay, so you know about that, yeah. So you have not heard about the last 12 hours. So.
I mean, this is just where it's like, it seems like they saw the internet stuff. They thought it'd be funny to talk about. Now, because they don't say her by name, it just seems like they're talking about drama, and it's a funny bit. I don't know how... Like, it would be different if they said her name, showed her picture, and went off of that. I don't know if they showed her picture or whatever yet, but we'll have to see. But it's just, this is going to be a tough case for her to win, I think.
I don't want nothing to do with this shit, though.
Sounds like not.
There's a menage a trois that is
really captivating.
Boy, oh boy. Parents' weekend's going to be lit.
Well, I think they're actually not doing it this way. Some Ole Miss frat bro.
Yep. Sure.
Okay. Had a KD girlfriend. Allegedly. Dad had sex with son's girlfriend.
And that was pretty much the end of Pat's comments right there.
Because the people who were talking about it are the people that I would want to take a picture with if I saw it in public. They're people that I watched. Pat McAfee, ESPN, that's on my living room TV every single night. Because I used to look up to these people, and now these same people are making me feel worthless.
So do you guys think it will matter, like in the court of law, that he didn't actually mention her by name? Now, he did make allusions like frat bro, and I think he referenced maybe her sorority. I think I can definitely see the comments being a little bit divided on this one. So do you think if they actually take this to court...
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't know the ins and outs of the court process to give my 2 cents on it. I think it would open a weird precedent of where you can't talk about anything, any rumors going on, anything. I mean, he did say allegedly. He didn't even mention her name. I see. My knowledge going into it thought it was going to be an easy win for her, but after seeing the actual clip, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the actual win she thinks it's going to be. It might. What I could see happening. What I could see happening is a settlement out of court where no party admits it or admits fault. I 100% could see that, and I think it's smart for her to go after it. Get your bag, little lady. Go get your bag. And at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a no fault ruling. At if it does get to any point to before it even sees a judge, I think it'll be no fault. I think that Disney and ESPN would much rather write a check and just be done with it than actually go through the nonsense of a trial and everything. They're just like, we're gonna settle, no fault, both sides. You get like 10K or whatever, and you shut the fuck up about it, and we can stop having you blast us on fucking NBC.
Or she has a possibility of winning or getting a settlement.
Cornette now wants justice. Her lawyer says she's been defamed and is a victim of cyberbullying.
The rumor is false.
Defamation, it's
People
coming.
promoted it without looking into it. You can't lie for money.
Are there laws that protect Mary Kate? Because it seems like the internet, social media, it's the wild, wild west.
To some degree, the law hasn't caught up with the speed at which a lie travels online.
Seems like there's a little bit of doubt.
And the fact that it's now kind of anchored to her.
I don't think this is winning. I think she got her. Well, here's the thing, too. Why they did this right here, is to put pressure on ESPN, to put pressure on Disney, to make them look like a little bit, I think this is like was a good play in their book, but also a really bad one because of the fact that it's different if you would have said like, oh, Kate, what's her face or whatever her name is, I can't remember, Mary, whatever, slept with her frat bro's dad, dude. She'd be out there just slinging it for anybody but her boyfriend, like, and then just like ended it there, not said allegedly, not prefaced it, not like they actually just brought her name through the mud. But they didn't do that. They just talked about an alleged meme that was going around. It was kind of a hee-haw, look at this, let's make fun of let's make jokes about a quarterback real quick. It wasn't that big of a thing. Now I do feel bad that she's gone through all this, obviously, but I don't think that she's the idea of her winning even the settlement or getting a little settlement from it is dropping by the moment that this chick is talking.
Her name forever.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it is. She gets like a little job application. People think, oh, Mary Kate. You know, it's not Mary Kate and Ashley anymore.
Defamation exists. There's growing protections against cyberbullying. There's growing protections against, making fake pictures, which has also happened to Mary Kate.
Well, yeah, like they're definitely gonna have to change up the laws when it comes to online and social media activity, especially with the way like AI can be used. I mean, someone's life and reputation can be ruined forever just based on some photoshopped image, some AI shit.
Why my daughter? She wasn't looking for any of this. She never asked for any attention. She's just trying to be a freshman in college.
Damn. And so now she started this GoFundMe that's already raised $32,000. And in the description here, she basically says, yes, my family does have the money to like fight this in court and for me to defend myself. That other people are not always so fortunate, so 100% of the proceeds from this fundraiser will be used to provide seed capital, establishing a foundation focused on helping innocent victims of similar defamatory cyber attacks. Zero money raised here will be used for personal purposes. So it will be interesting to see where this story goes, and how it might be able to set the precedent for situations in the future that are similar to this, where someone has their life destroyed by what they call a lie. But y'all, of course, let me know y'all's thoughts down below. As always, I also want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and some other lawsuits out here need to be covered, so I'm out.
So here's the kind of my end thoughts on this. I think so like the cyberbullying thing, I think is pretty dumb. Like it's just like we're gonna police some of the stuff people say online. I just think that there's no real way about that. It's too endless, and a lot of shit already slips between the cracks for way more at horrend shit than people just making jokes online, right? Where I think I think actual change will happen is by raising and creating like actual bigger rules on the books that if there's a fake SWAT call, right? If there's a fake SWAT call, you then face like murder. That is like a murder charge. If you go out here and it's a famous person that you call in on, that is a murder charge. You should go to jail you should be up for life for that. And it's to prevent things like this. I think that there needs to be some protection against because like doxing's tough because like what are the lines of doxing, right? I think that like willfully releasing somebody's phone number and information to a wide group, I think that person should then be held accountable for that type of stuff. I think that there should be like, it's different than just like, oh, this guy has an internet moniker and his real name's already out there. You can literally see it on Wikipedia. It's like different than that. Like, oh, you said his real name. But like maliciously taking somebody, putting them out there, I think even then it's hard for me to say because there's just so many slippery slopes that can be created out of all this shit. The one thing that I will stand 100% on is the swatting thing. I think that should be a murder charge. I think that should be attempted murder charge easily, and I think it should have a minimal jail time. Like there should be no matter what they do, they're still going to jail for that shit. I just don't see, you're putting somebody's life in danger. It's just, to me, incredibly disgusting. As for the other shit, I mean, the defamation, we'll have to see what happens with that. I don't know if she's gonna get a massive bag. I could see her getting some money and it's settling with no fault on both sides easily, but I don't see her winning the case. I absolutely don't see her winning the case after we got the full context. Absolutely not. But that's all I got for you guys on that one. I hope I brought some fun to it and wasn't just like a little goblin cum monster on the screen. But if I am and you had fun anyways, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.